So I wanted to start off with a couple of really essential workflows which will have, I think, a large impact on just about every subject. So when students are using iPads, a typical complaint from teachers is that students are saying they've run out of space to install the applications they need for their lessons. There's lots of image files, there's lots of movie files. And of course, some subjects, sports, drama, music, etc., will be taking a lot of video. Video evidence is really important. So what can we do with this? Well, Showbie is an ideal answer for this scenario. And what you'll see here is I have a class called Demo Class Project, and I've created two assignments, one called Images and one called Movie Files. And what I would do within a specific topic is create these two assignments, Images and Movie Files, to allow students to go into this particular assignment and upload as many of their images from the photo library as they want. Basically, they can upload to the cloud, which is Showbie, and then delete the images from their iPad. They don't need to keep every image on their iPad all the time. We can do the same thing with this assignment here called Movie Files, and they can pop into their photo library and they'll find their movie files in here and upload them to Showbie. Now, Showbie has got limitations in terms of Showbie Free and Showbie Pro. With Showbie Free, you are limited to movie files of a minute in length. Well, that's a pretty long time. And per file, 25 meg. So each photo is not going to be 25 meg. A typical image file is going to be maximum 4 megabytes. So they can upload as many of their image files as they like. There is no limit whatsoever. So get those files off the iPads and free up the iPad space. By the way, on Showbie Pro, your movie files are limited to 10 minutes per file, and that's a massive movie file, and 500 megabytes per file. So we'll talk a little bit more about those 500 megabyte files, but for the moment I'm going to focus on uploading image files and video files. And basically, if you help organize the students' work by uploading image files and movie files to a specific topic, they'll know the related images and movie files for that topic are all going to be within that area. So let's just move over to a couple of slides to help demonstrate why this is going to be so useful in the different scenarios of how iPads are going to be deployed in your school. You'll either have one-to-one where the students have got their own iPads. Well, this is an ideal way of making space on those iPads, or shared. And of course, you may have a situation where students will have their own iPad at home. So let's have a look at that. So what I have here is a representation where a student has their own iPad and they have some images in the photo library and some movie files. To free up space on their iPad, they log into Showbie and upload all the images they want to Showbie and their movie files, freeing up the space on their iPad. That's basically exactly what I just described. However, do also note that Showbie is giving you file backup. Those images and those movies are all safely backed up in the cloud, and no matter what happens to the student iPad, all of those files are safe. For those of you who remember using USB sticks and hard drives or even floppy disks, you'll know what it is to lose valuable data, especially student work for exams. So this is a great way of backing up student work. When the student wants to, say, access a movie file, they log into Showbie and then tap on the movie file and bring it back by adding it to their photo library. Pretty simple. Now let's look at a common scenario where students are working in a school with shared iPads. So students will log in on the first iPad into Showbie, upload their images and their movies to Showbie. I would actually get students to get into the habit of deleting images and video files off shared iPads to save you doing it later on. When the student moves to the shared iPad, it can be any iPad in the school. They just log into Showbie and bring the required file back down into the shared iPad. They can work on it, do what they want with it, and when they've finished, upload it back to Showbie again. It's an ideal framework for shared iPads. So let's just take this a little bit further, where a typical scenario that I come across is where there are shared iPads in the school, denoted by the blue area, and an iPad at home. In all cases, all they have to have is Showbie installed on all of the iPads, and it's free. It's a free app to download. Students work on the first iPad and upload their files to Showbie. When they're at home, they can then log into Showbie and bring those files down to the iPad at home and then re-upload them to Showbie when they're finished with them. It's a really simple process, and I find that primary schools are working with students of 6 and 7 years of age, and they find this really easy to do. Some teachers are concerned that students logging in and out of Showbie is too complex. Well, give a DVD remote to a 2-year-old and you'll see how adept they are at using them. This is not a complex framework for a student. So let's just take this a little bit further and look at a different kind of file. Book Creator. Now, I mentioned in another tutorial video that Book Creator is just an ideal way of working in terms of creating great content. The great thing about Book Creator is that it can download its files from Showbie back into Book Creator for editing. So a book created in Book Creator can be re-edited in Book Creator. So that means a student can work with Book Creator, add content, text, audio, video files, etc., and then take that book and upload it to Showbie. Again, it's safe, it's being backed up, and we can delete it off the first iPad. The student can then log into any other iPad in the school and download it to their iPad and carry on working. When they've finished, they just upload the book from Book Creator back to Showbie. If they're going home and want to carry on with the work, they can. As long as they've got Showbie and Book Creator on the home iPad, they can do this. This is an ideal framework for creating great content and working on a shared iPad at school or on an iPad at home. So just to finish this off, I'm back in Showbie here on my iPad, and I'm sure there will be some teachers saying, well, how do you move that file back and forth from the iPad? And I'd just like to do that now. When you upload an image to Showbie, let's just add one here. When the image is in Showbie, or the video file, you select it, and top right hand corner you can see this share icon. Tap on this and we can just tap on Save Image or Save Movie File. It works the same way. If I tap on that, that will now add that image back to my photo library, and I'll have 2 of those. With Book Creator, it's a very similar process. Here I am in Book Creator. Students take their book into Showbie by tapping on the share icon and selecting Copy to Showbie. I'll do that and show you how that works. Now notice that Showbie has taken me literally straight back to where I was in Showbie. If I want to choose a different destination, I tap on this little blue arrow and I can move between different classes, different assignments. It's the same thing for the students. We'll stay with this demo class project class for the moment, and I will just stick it inside demo assignment for now. And the students would just tap on Add File. So here we are. I didn't think you wanted to sit watching that file upload. We've just cut to that happening. And here is the book. So if I select that book now, you'll notice that share icon in the top right hand corner. And this is how the students would bring that file back out of Showbie, back into Book Creator. Tap on Book Creator. The file is downloaded. And just note that this is a duplicate of the file. We've got the original one here that was uploaded to Showbie. We've now downloaded that, and we could of course be on a second iPad or another iPad at home. This is what makes Showbie ideal for backing up files and moving between iPads, particularly in a school where they have shared iPads.